Welcome, I'm Rob. You join me back at TeamSport in Sheffield for the final of these 3 sessions. So during the first session, I discussed and explained a breakdown of all of my go-karting costs of 2022, and in the second session, I went on to break down my costs of 2023 so far. I then spoke about the kit that I have bought over the past year and told you exactly how much money I have put into my go-karting stuff. So during this video, I'm going to discuss my plans for this year, 2023, and beyond. The first 2 sessions went well, with mostly clear running and a decent pace overall from all the drivers. What you may notice though, is that this is displaying as lap 0. Between session 2 and 3, we weren't actually brought into the pits at all. No one from session 2 stopped, but we did gain 2 more cars, which I'm guessing was the reason for that brief yellow flag. We had 1 lap that didn't appear on the timing in the app, which is why I've listed it as lap 0. So the guy in the yellow and blue suit just ahead of me there, he's come all the way down from Leeds, and this was his first ever visit to Sheffield. I ended up chasing him throughout this session, and we were the 2 fastest cars out there by more than a second and a half. So we know all the tracks that I have visited already, as I've listed them over the past 2 videos. But where else do I plan to visit? Well, in all honesty, my list is actually getting a bit too long at the minute. In no particular order, I'm going to go through all of the TeamSport venues that I'm looking at visiting for various reasons. This doesn't mean I won't visit a track that isn't on this list, just that I'm trying to find time to visit these ones in particular at the moment. If I'm ever suddenly near another one with some time available, I'll pop in. The first track on the list isn't actually a new track, and I've already visited it by the time you see this video. TeamSport Coventry, I was back in the area, so I've popped in once again. That video is coming soon. TeamSport Leicester has been on my list for quite a while now. I visited the city of Leicester a few times over the years, but I've never been go-karting there, so I need to change that. There are 2 local tracks coming up next. That's Bradford and Leeds. They are both considered close to Sheffield, and they are close to each other too, so maybe I can even do both in one day. I've heard that Leeds is due a track layout change, and they are planning to remove what I'm going to call the Bridge of Death. I'm definitely going to try and get there before that goes. Speaking of track changes, Sheffield is actually due to be changed next year, presumably for a larger pit area because they are going to electric karts. I've driven the older style electric karts that you find at TeamSport in Stoke, but the new karts with the boost button that Sheffield will be getting, I've not driven those yet. One place I know that has these are TeamSport in Eastleigh, and seeing as I'm in Southampton for a week in August, I'll definitely be popping in to experience those. Naturally, the two Manchester tracks are also on the list as more local tracks. Trafford Park has the usual petrol karts, and whilst Victoria uses the electric karts, the older style electric karts, similar to Stoke. Both, however, have a reported average lap time of 38 seconds on the TeamSport website, and I'll probably end up doing both of these in the same day too, so that could make an interesting comparison. The final track on my TeamSport list is of course Warrington. Who wouldn't want to endure the mega track that is Warrington? I've got a plan for an excuse to be in the area too, and Dan is definitely keen to visit this one, so I'm sure we'll work something out. Just because I haven't listed other tracks doesn't mean that I won't be visiting them. I'm staying near Heathrow for a few days next week. That's next week to when this video goes live. So I may look at popping into Reading, Farnborough or Acton, although I have no firm plans at the time that I'm recording this. During my stay near Heathrow, I will also look possibly at trying to visit Surbiton Raceway. It's a small outdoor track, but it is one that is close to my heart. This is the first UK track that I experienced in proper cars. That is Honda Biz cars as opposed to cadets or very basic rental cars. I also worked there as a marshal for a couple of months between school and college, but that was a very long time ago. Finally, the other track that could be visited whilst I'm in southwest London is Daytona at Sandown Park. This is another track that I visited before, as I used to live in the area. Years ago though, so I'd definitely love to pay it another visit. If not this time, definitely soon. Well, Daytona has 3 tracks though, doesn't it? And quite frankly, they're all on my list. Both Tamworth and Milton Keynes are being very closely watched to see if I'm ever nearby when there's an available session. And at this point I will give a quick shout out to Leo E. Earwig, as he has asked me a couple of times in the comments if I plan to visit Daytona Milton Keynes. And here we go, I've said it in a video, it's official, I will be planning to visit as soon as I can. Now we know I visited Wilton Mill for the international layout, and I'd love to return to do that again, and I will do, I'm sure, but I'd also like to just try out the shorter national layout too, just to experience it more than anything else. Hoddesdon is home to Rye House Kart Raceway, a place where someone called Lewis Hamilton started out. I've been here before with a group of friends, but I had a very bad visit and I was very slow. So I need to visit again at some point to redeem myself for that one. PF International in Lincolnshire is a track that Dan is very familiar with, and he has suggested that it would be worth a visit. I think he wants to try and beat me somewhere. So that is also on the list. Lincolnshire and no easy online booking for a drive and drive though does make this one a little bit more tricky to organise, but I'm sure we'll work something out. Another tricky booking will be Lyd Circuit, all the way down in South Kent. My wife has family near Dover, so if we're visiting, I'll see if there are any available sessions that I can jump onto. Whilst I'm in Kent, I guess it would be rude not to visit Buckmore Park, of course. Again, if I can find a free session. A quick reminder though that this is not an exhaustive list, nor are any of those tracks guaranteed to appear anytime soon. If I've missed a track near you that you think I'd enjoy, let me know in the comments down below and I'll see what I can do. As always guys, thank you so much for joining me on all of my go-karting adventures. Please do give the video a thumbs up, leave some feedback down below in the comments. Remember, let me know a track that you want me to visit. Thanks again to all of you who have subscribed. If you haven't, please do give that little button a click. Turn on those notifications too so that you don't miss out when I do visit those new tracks that you've asked me to go to. the next video is actually coming from another new track. It's a new track to the channel, and we go for an actual grid-started race in this one, so you don't want to miss it. And until then, cheers.